Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Barbecue Roundtable. I'm your host, Jason Hardy, and today we got some really cool guests. We'll share a lot of cool information and tell some really good stories. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So all that being stated, let's introduce ourselves. Mr. Ted, introduce yourself.
I'm Ted Rasky from Veteran Pork Pullers, a backyard team. We've been competing for about 3 years now. We've had successes and failures, both. But other than that, just primarily we do it mostly for the camaraderie with all the other teams out there.
That's, that's what it's all about. Justin?
Justin Holt, Holt Brothers Barbecue, Charlotte, North Carolina. A little sickly tonight,
Um,
so hopefully I'll make the whole show. Might have a fever. Uh,
okay.
Stomach's not doing great, so but good to see everybody. Been a couple weeks since I've been back on the show.
Yeah, man, it's been missed you a few weeks, but I understand you have a whole adventure, and we'll kind of get into that. But before we get into your adventure on this, let's talk here, Mr. Ted, a minute. All right, Ted, kind of give us a background um, on how did you start cooking? Did you grow up cooking? I mean, kind of what's your idea with that?
Well, kind of grew up cooking barbecue. I grew up down in southern Florida and went from that aspect of it and got to finally, I guess maybe 20 years ago, started cooking pork butts for football games, things like that. And it kind of took off from there. And then I guess about 3, 4 years ago, uh, like everybody else, your friends, your neighbors, your family, they say, "Oh, your barbecue is the best thing in the world. So you need to start a restaurant. You need to compete, this, that, and the other." And I don't think that's anything different from anybody else. But then I guess about 4 years ago, started talking to a buddy of mine, and we got hooked up, and we both enjoyed it. Went out and started cooking, and let it go from there. And you know, today here I am. It's me and my wife as a cook team, and we have a good time.
So tell us a little bit of the backstory of how you got your team name.
Okay, so my team name actually came from my buddy of mine that came into play. He was in the Air Force. I was in the Navy, and you had to go something a little bit risque, a little bit. At least it seems that way in the barbecue society. And we were both veterans, and figured out pork pullers, and there you go. Pretty much it.
Well, I think Sean's a fellow Navy guy, and he's want to give you a congratulations to that. And we'll come
He
right
is,
back
and I
to
met
that.
him.
He's a good guy. He's a very good guy. And we got Derek here. Derek, who you with? Who you with tonight? Should we ask?
I, I am with Swamp Fest. I'm an organizer for Swamp Fest. Um,
Are you the organizer, or just to help her out with this one? You're actually
I am the
organizer.
organizer.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
You need to start finding somebody else to be
yeah,
organizer so you can cook in them.
I am the organizer.
Um,
I know. Don't
that,
nobody want to do it though.
I know what you mean.
A lot of work,
I,
man. Don't sign me up. I'm all
uh,
good.
I learned my lesson with all of that stuff during the Rufus T era of contests. Had a lot of fun doing it. Really, truly enjoy it, but you got to turn your mind off when you organize a contest to be an
Yeah.
organizer and not even want to cook.
Yep. Yeah,
And
that'd be the painful thing for me.
by the way, anybody out there cooking from an organizer perspective, I'm going to say this. Do us two favors. Number one is do not fill the trash bags all the way up. Leave them about a halfway to maybe a 2/3 full.
Good
And
tip.
if it's heavy, split them into different in bags. I promise you, we'll bring you more bags than you need. But please, Lord, do that. That is the worst thing in the world, trying to pick up trash, and you got one that's so full, so heavy, it's going to bust on you. That's annoying. So, anyhow,
I'm guilty of that.
Soapbox.
I'll apologize to all organizers now.
Yeah.
Cut them in half, man. We'll give you some more trash bags. And if you really want to be kind to the organizer, go throw the trash in the dumpster for us.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'll be, you'll get a really good parking spot next year.
Yep.
If you do that, you get really good parking spots in the future. If you don't do that, you get bad parking lots in the future. Yeah, just soapbox there. I think Derek's, I think he said his internet was going in and out of him a little bit, but Derek's got a contest coming up here in 2 weeks down Waycross, Georgia. It's Swamp Fest. So make sure if you haven't signed up for that contest, I think you got, how many spots you got left now? Derek, how many spots you got left? Last time I heard he had 4 spots left on there. So if you're looking for a contest, sign up and make sure you check out the Swamp Fest. You know how many spots you got left, Derek? But so Ted, we've got this right here. So tell us about this trophy.
Sweet.
What else is there to tell? It's a guitar.
It's a guitar.
Yeah, great trophy. I'll throw it out there to Jason Cole. He puts on this contest, and he's done it for a number of years now, and it's always been great. This year was the first year they actually had a backyard section of it. And we went to it. It's an actual guitar. It's not a piece of plywood or anything like that. It's an actual guitar. And the awards they gave out, which I'm sure everybody's seen, that everybody's posted with the records and so on. They did a great job. Always have. We've come up here because it is right down the road from where our house was, maybe 25 minutes. And we've come up and competed in pro a couple of times just to give it a shot. But always a very well-run contest. And as far as that goes, I got lucky with chicken and ribs. I happened to finish top 10. It was enough to carry me over slightly.
So Kevin's asked a question here. Keith's a good turn-in box. And coming off a GC win on that, kind of what some ideas of a good turn-in box?
Well, they're not supposed to judge on it anymore, but we try to make everything look symmetrical as possible. Fill it in, especially around the edges, get the kale up or the parsley up where it's even, and try and make your meat look as good as you can. Don't have blotchy sauce, things like that, holes in the sauce, things like that where it's drying out. That's pretty much it. And we'll spritz it a couple of times with water just before we close it up.
But I would also like to kind of expand upon that is a couple of things. When you're doing something other, like, for example, ribs, the fat on the ribs is not going to accept the sauce. It's going to pretty much push them off unless you set it just right. No, don't, and the rubs will come through. So it's going to get blondie in there. So you do that, kind of take that in consideration. The other thing is we got this garnish in the box, and look at it as your friend. Allow it kind of help hold stuff together, hold it up, prop stuff up with the garnish. That'll save your life a ton with that. So work with the kale. I mean, it's a great thing. I've done competition without the greenery and stuff, and I will take the kale box to the kale, lettuce, whatever box to the end of the week.
Same here.
Because you can get away. You can because if you don't, an advantage of KCBS with that perspective is you can just put the parts of the box that are good, just the 6 that you're going to get judged, and not do a lot of filler in there.
Yep.
And I think the other times you can get away with that. But that's what I would say. I would say focus on the pieces that's good. I think that's would be my thing. Now, Mr. GC over here, he can tell you a lot more than I can tell you on that.
I don't know. I can tell you that much more, but I mean, that's basically it. Make it look as good as you can. They're free points, right?
Yep. It's one of the things you can control.
Yeah,
That's good looking
you,
trophy
you can't.
guitar.
It definitely was.
So now you're full RV living now. Is that what you tell me in a text message?
Yep. I'm sitting in the living room of the RV right now.
Wow.
So where you gonna put all them trophies that you've got?
We got to worry about that in a little bit. Just gotten a couple of them. Right now, I got room in the garage, but that's something we have to think about. Hopefully.
I mean, you start racking them up like that, you're gonna have to
Get a cargo trailer.
uh,
You just hook a cargo trailer to the back of the RV as well. I seen a dude in Louisiana with that truck pulling
Well,
an RV, pulling a boat.
No, we don't do that triple toe stuff.
So, baby.
No, it just
Louisiana
doesn't.
style.
Yeah, it doesn't sound safe, but
Nope, I'd agree with you.
yeah, we'll find a place to put it
yeah.
if it comes to that point.
So Derek, tell us about your contest a little bit. I was kind of filling it in a little bit whenever you said tell us how many
Yeah, I don't know what happened to my internet. My internet went out or something. I got terrible internet. But anyways, Waycross, Georgia. It's a first year contest. It is not this coming up weekend, but next weekend. And we're almost full. We still got 4 more spots. It's downtown. It's part of a festival that's been going on for, this is the 19th year that the festival has been going on. And so it's part of it, and we're bringing, barbecue into it, and we want it to be a thing that continues to grow on with the festival. We got some cool trophies, and we do have a People's Choice, and we got a championship belt. They just posted a picture on Facebook not too long ago of it. And it's cool. It's gator skin, goes right along with Swamp Fest. And then I got this big old gator here.
Sweet.
He's gonna be part of the GC trophy. I'm trying to get him in the picture here. But
There's this one. Hold on a minute.
Nice. That's worth putting the effort in for People's Choice alone right there. That's cool.
Yeah.
Belts are the new big trophies.
Yeah, and we're doing that for People's Choice. So, and then we got the GC trophy, and our GC trophy is going to be the big gators. And
So is your side job modeling now?
yeah, man, yeah. They done wonders with the camera. Let's just say that.
I mean, you come right here showing it all.
30 pounds off.
Yeah.
Ted, well, you need to get your guitar and start doing pictures like that.
Yeah.
Air guitar style.
Yeah, man. Just keep it going.
Yeah, there's a couple of pictures. Not anything floating around though yet.
Nothing floating around yet. Oh, Lord.
We're part of the GBC, Georgia Barbecue Championship. We're part of the Points Championship. And it is, yeah, you are doing People's Choice.
So we are doing People's Choice.
But what was I saying? Oh man, I lost train of thought.
So about the People's Choice, there is it something other that everybody's doing?
We are going to do People's Choice is actually going to be after turn-ins. We're going to do it after turn-ins, and if we're asking everybody to please participate. As a cook, also, I know it is a little bit aggravating, but if we want these contests to continue, and we want these contests to thrive, and We want to be able to do what we love to do. We sometimes have to do something that we don't really care to do. So, if it's a hardship, talk to me. We'll figure something out. But we would really appreciate it and really like for everybody to participate. It's after turn-ins. We're giving you 2 Boston butts. And, you can use your meat that you already have cooked from the house, just warm it up, the whole 9 yards on that. And then, you can give away your competition stuff that you like, the leftover brisket. I don't like taking that stuff home when I cook. I would love to have somebody to give it to. So yes, it's
All right, so we're getting 2 Boston butts to cook. That's the equivalent what you're looking for. So now, and we're going to set a table up at our site. So is this turn-in trays at a turn-in booth?
Yeah.
Or it's a volunteer?
It'll be at your site. We have some tables. If you have a table, we would greatly appreciate it that you set it out. But and then, like I said, if it creates a hardship, we'll figure something out. But we definitely, I know how many times at a contest I get the public walks up and says, "Hey, you got anything we can eat?"
Yep.
And it's hard for them to walk around there and smell barbecue all day and see all these nice trailers, see all these trophies and everything, these big names and everything, and not even get to taste anything. So it's just one way to help continue to grow the contest and to continue to, make barbecue great again, I guess. Look at there. Farewell.
Yeah, there's troublemakers right there. Well, no, that's going to be good. How many teams you got right now?
We are at 31.
Wow, it's a big contest.
31. So,
A nice contest.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, it's downtown. It's right there. We're closing the streets down. It reminds me a lot of Greenwood, the way
Awesome.
it's set up. It's got the potential to be one of the biggest contests in South Georgia. But yeah, this is the first year. We wanted to kind of cap it at 35, and we almost hit the mark. We're at 31, so
cool.
Very cool.
Well, it'll be a lot of fun. How about Kids Q?
Yes,
we're doing after turn-ins.
It will be done. Yes, it'll be after turn-ins. It will. I think Kids Q turn-ins 2:30. So that gives you a little bit of time.
Joseph just said he got a lot of trains. So here's what we need to do. There's about 2 or 3 teams is coming. Make sure they're on the other side of the tracks during turn-in.
There is a lot of trains. It never fails when we have a meeting over there and I'm running late. I get stopped by a train. But there's ways around the trains, but you got to go around this way, around that way,
So Ted, you said you've been in barbecue about 3 years now. Just to give everybody out there that's not KCBS contests that don't cook every day, you do a lot of the backyard contests. So explain the difference from your perspective between the backyard process. I don't know. It's called competitor series or pro or master series or whatever. Explain the difference between the two in your mind.
Yeah, and in my mind, the biggest difference is the cost. Typically, a backyard is going to be chicken and ribs, in Georgia, if there's a backyard, will also include pork. And there are some in Alabama that will include pork as well. But backyard does not do brisket, at least my experience, except for Florida. Florida, you do all 4 meats as backyard. But as far as Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, it's chicken and ribs primarily. And on occasion, pork will be involved with that as well. That and the other thing is, which now I'm finding out, now that I've got an RV that's 45 foot long, trying to get a 45 footer into a backyard competition is not always easy or acceptable.
Wow, that's a big one.
That makes them challenging.
Yeah, and that's the main reason we didn't do sip and swine this year. Not to say anything bad about it, but everybody gets packed in there pretty well, and trying to come in there with a 45 footer is kind of difficult. So
that is definitely a contest. If you got a trailer, your butt is not late to drive.
You better be there Thursday morning. The heck with Friday. I think that's when we met you, Jason. You were backing yours up and next to us.
Yeah, and I got there about 2 or 3 o'clock, and I'm sitting there put a 40-foot camper in the middle, and Scott said, "You park it right there." Where I'm in the dead middle. Everybody else is parked.
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
trying to put that 40 footer in a 20 by 40 spot.
Jeez.
Now that's challenging. It wasn't as bad as that contest in North Carolina. That was worse, but it is. It's a lot of fun though. But yeah, that's the first time I met you was there, and we were sitting right beside each other. I'm not mistaken.
Yep, we were. Yeah, I was about a foot of letting all my awning out, but you impressed me on the way you backed that thing in there. I will tell you that.
Well, luckily enough, we've done. If you want to learn one thing in barbecue, don't matter if you cook or not. If you want to truly understand one thing in barbecue, you will learn how to back a trailer up.
Mm-hmm.
That is God's honest truth.
Yep.
And Ryan can argue that testament for you. Ryan King up here. I give him a hard time about it in the past, but he's learned, and that's what it is.
You're talking about Seven Swine. You want to get there before Scott has too many drinks and you had to deal with his mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's just like in the weight cross contest, I'm bringing my small trailer. And I'm going to stay in a motel room just because of the fuel costs, but I'm just going to bring it because I know it's convenient. It's not, I don't know the location. It's not like Greenwood where I kind of know the plan, Yep. And I'm by myself, so I don't need the whole 40 footer by myself. So
you can come Thursday. I think Kerry had asked the question, and I don't know how to comment back, but you can come in Thursday. I think they're closing the streets down sometime around lunch Thursday, so coming in.
That'll be pretty cool. So, Ted, how many 180s did you get this past weekend?
None. I missed one.
You missed one?
Yeah, I missed one. Needed one more 9 and a chicken, but
Geez.
it's all good. Yeah, I know. It's all good.
Was it the appearance one you needed?
No, it's taste.
Right.
No, appearance is given. You should you always want to get all 9s in appearance. I mean, it's not that difficult for the most part. And like Justin said earlier, that's one thing you can't control.
Yep.
You can control the taste and stuff, but it may not match up to the judges in particular. But the one thing you can control is appearance, for sure.
Never know when you're going to need that extra point.
Yep. Everybody says, when I first started this, everybody said, "Oh, appearance doesn't mean anything." Yeah, it does. It means a lot.
Probably contests have been won and lost by appearance a bit.
I mean, like I said, though, it's what you can control. In my mind, you can only control 2 things. Number one, you can completely control appearance. Number 2 is you can 90% control texture. And taste is, God bless America, is all we got to say. I mean, it's just, I don't know, from like a math perspective and engineering perspective, you like, what are you looking for? Tell me exactly what you're looking for and let me make that happen. But we get in there, it's like, I don't know what I'm looking for. It's like carrying your wife out to supper, you know? Where you want to go? I don't care. Whatever you want to do. It's just like, I can't play that game. But we still do it and have a good time because we had, like you said earlier, the camaraderie ship, the friends, and the get together. That's why we do this. They don't let completely why I'm going down there to hang out with Derek to give him a hard time. And yeah, I want front row seats to the three guys. Derek, you know what I'm talking about? I want you to give me front row seats for that. I just want to watch that.
Stooges.
Trio.
The trio, yeah.
All right.
But I will not be touching them natural lights. They can have them things, but I'm not getting out again for them.
Nice.
They can have them. I'll be the designated driver here.
So the good thing about Swamp Fest is a lot of things are in walking distance. So you ain't even got to drive. You don't even have to have a DD. Just walk.
What are you getting VIP bracelets to? We don't need a VIP to a trailer, do we, Joseph? You're getting VIP bracelets to this trailer.
The homeboy Hilton, you got to have a VIP bracelet to get into the homeboy Hilton.
Oh Lordy, that's crazy. Yeah, Aaron, I'm doing a practice kit this weekend. I need to start trimming stuff too. That's too rich for my blood. But anyhow, it's gonna be a lot of fun contest. So Derek, you're also a barbecue competitor. You also with Sweet Dixie Barbecue.
Yeah.
Now you are also started off where Ted's still doing backyard, but you started off in backyard competition.
I done one.
You done one, but you done one and started hitting a home run out the gate. I'm not mistaken.
I RGC'd the first one. And then I was like, yeah. Then I went to Sipping Swine 2021 and that was my second contest, and I went into pro, and I didn't get a call. And then 2022, I RGC'd Sipping Swine. So
that's one thing I was kind of wanting to point out here is what Ted's doing with the veteran pork porters and what we're doing here and stuff here is the fact of the matter is we're doing with the same judges. It is not different judges. It's not different criteria. It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing different. It's just like Ted was saying. You got whether you want to just do chicken and ribs, or sometimes pork, or you want to do all four categories. And that's truly the only difference between the two contests. Mm-hmm. Now, organizers may have some differences to it as far as the power availability, the size of the parking spaces and stuff. But as far as the judging itself, it is nothing's different in it because we've seen many times that when Ted says he's done some pro contests, they come out here with some chicken and ribs and they kicking butt taking names. Mm-hmm. There's absolutely nothing to stop them from doing that. But I like cooking brisket and other things, so that's why I think I've done so many contests I couldn't do backyard now if I wanted to. But yeah, I just enjoy it. So Justin, you wearing an SCA hat right here, and
I am
kind of come on last weekend, but tell us your big news and all your accomplishments.
Yep. So last weekend before last, Hollis and I drove 2,400 miles round trip to Fort Worth, Texas, from here in Charlotte for the SCA World Championships. If you're not familiar with how SCA handles that throughout the year in both the U.S. and all 14 other international countries, where they allow SCA competitions. First place in either an ancillary or a stake division will get a golden ticket, and that is your invite to the World Championships that year. As another bonus, if you are in first place and you already have a golden ticket that season, you get to pass it down to the next person in line. So second place gets it, and if second place has it, third place gets it, and so on all the way down. And you don't see that as often in the beginning of the season, but as you start getting into August, September, October, most of the people that are going to get a top 10 already have their golden tickets. So you'll see those things get handed down to fifth, sixth, seventh place, so that just increases the amount of people that are offered the opportunity to go to Fort Worth and compete. So last year, Hollis and I won a ribs ancillary outside of Charleston. So that got our ancillary golden ticket. And then we were a tenth of a point behind first place competitor in Griffin, Georgia, at the Doc Holliday GBA contest that had a Friday night SCA event. And he already had his golden ticket, so that got handed down to us for stake. So that definitely committed us to make the drive out there. It was a long distance. We did tow the RV. I don't want to do that drive again for a couple months for sure, at least till the Royal. But it was a ton of fun. We hosted a guy named Lars from Germany that flew over, and a lot of other teams do the same thing where, of course, they're not going to be able to fly with their state grill and, majority of their equipment. So we bring as much as we can, to segment their experience so that they can compete as well. So we hosted Lars for the full weekend. He is currently, I think, the number one German stake team and was the ancillary champion last year for all of Europe. So that was a really cool experience spending the weekend with him, and he cooked at the trailer with us. We bought a spot literally at the week before we went. We got a spot at the RV lot, which is beside where everybody will set up all of their tents. And there, they're full hookups and you can cook from your trailer, which is awesome because then you don't have to lug a bunch of stuff over there and set up a pop-up. And you'll see that at SCA. A lot of people will just do a pop-up. And that's awesome. We do that a lot too. But, you really got to have all your equipment and know what you're doing and, control your atmosphere a little bit better when you're cooking from a familiar spot. With water and power and all that, it definitely makes it easier to stay organized. So Friday, we arrived on Wednesday evening. Thursday, we just kind of, spent some time hanging out with people, did some touristy stuff around Dallas and Fort Worth, which, by the way, is gigantic. Don't ever think that you can drive from one end to go to something on the other end and make it back at any time relatively easy, because you're not going to. It's just a lot of highways, a lot of driving. But Friday was ancillaries. We did it was anything sausage, so it was sponsored by Wampler's Sausage, who's one of the major sponsors of SCA. They provided as much sausage as you needed, and we made a Asian sausage banh mi sandwich, like a Vietnamese on the toasted baguette. And Lars made one of the most badass things I've ever seen. If you've ever had an Italian rice ball where they cook the rice kind of solid and then deep fry it and then put sauce and stuff on the top of it, he did it deconstructed, or essentially inside out. So he stuffed a rice ball. Come on, buddy. Stuffed a rice ball with sausage. Then he made his own pizza dough. He wrapped that whole thing in pizza dough and then covered it in seasoned breadcrumbs and deep fried them and then sprinkled stuff on top of them. And man, that thing was outrageous. When I tasted it, I said, dude, if you don't make the finals with that, I'm going to lodge a protest. It was outrageous. And sure enough, we came in 60th place, and that's out of maybe, I think I heard something like 240, 260 ancillary cooks. So, it's pretty good. I think he finished 8th. So he was pleasantly happy to make the finals. So his Saturday was a lot more busy because Saturday was steak primaries, and there were 400 and I want to say it was like 460 steak cooks there. So clearly you can't have a contest with 460 competitors. So they divided us into groups of either 49 or 50. I can't quite remember. And you competed in a heat against, those 49 or 50 other teams. And so on top of having to do steak, he had to do ancillary. I just had to concentrate on steak. So I was like, cool, I'm sitting pretty right here. Second thing for me, I had literally just purchased a new steak grill from M Grills, who's I'm wearing a shirt right now. They're out of the Midwest somewhere, and they're kind of a specialty steak cooker. I was cooking on a PK, and I kind of wanted something a little more smaller that I could control the heat a little bit better with less charcoal and, just kind of dial in the temperatures that I wanted. So like a crazy person at the World Finals, I cooked on a brand new steak grill. I did cook 2 steaks Friday evening to season it up real good and kind of learn how much charcoal I needed to put in it, and how I could dial in the dampers to get to the temperature that I wanted to cook it at. So Saturday, it was very hot. I think it got up to about 87 in Texas style, which is just crazy for March. And I did my best, and I cooked a pretty damn good steak. It was a 4.5-minute walk to turn-ins from where we were at, so I pulled it a little bit earlier than I normally would, knowing that the temperature is going to rise on it as I get up to the turn-ins. And sure enough, we got a 6th-place call in our heat of 50. So Hollis and I got to walk the stage and get a nice medallion and made the finals. And we were supposed to leave on Sunday morning so that he could get back to school because he had already been out of school for 3 days. So I had to call my wife and say, yeah, he's gonna be missing Tuesday as well. So Lars didn't make the steak finals with his, but he did pretty good. I think he was like 40th or something in his ancillary finals, which was anything tacos. So he made tacos that had like a ground beef shell and like the taco on the inside. It was like super creative. The guy's crazy. He can really pull out some awesome stuff. So Sunday I woke up and I was like, all right, this is by far the most important steak I have ever cooked in my life. I really got to come correct here because it was 94 cooks made the finals. I was the only North Carolina SCA cook that made the finals. And I said, I'm representing North Carolina. I got to come with my very best. So, I focused all day. I had my whole schedule written out. I was to the minute on every single thing, no deviation from it. It was a little cooler. It was like probably 65 that day. So I dialed up the temperature, cooked a little bit hotter, knowing that, I didn't need so much of a rest time. And hands down cooked what I believe was the best steak I have ever cooked. It was absolutely symmetrical. It had to be a perfect medium, and the color was it was absolutely beautiful. And we finished 65th with a 250.1. And to show you the points difference between first place and 75th place was a 4-point difference, which is pretty damn crazy. So that just shows you the caliber of steak cooks. I was completely happy, and I'll cook that same steak at any SCA event and probably would definitely make the top 5, if not, win a contest with a steak of that score. I got a 50 on appearance, a 50 on doneness, which is super important. I lost a couple points on flavor, which was a pretty high score on Saturday. And my texture was dropped just a little bit, and overall impression was dropped just a little bit. But funny enough, I got literally the same exact overall score that I did on Saturday. So Saturday we made a 250.1, and Sunday we made a 250.1. And I said, yeah, I love this M grill. Like I definitely like this grill. It's pretty consistent, and definitely happy with this. So I was pretty proud. Hollis was pretty proud of me. I think everybody in North Carolina was pretty proud of me, and I was stoked for all of our steak friends that we got to see walk up on stage for the top 15. Somebody from Wisconsin won with a perfect score, which is a 254.5, which is really hard to get. I think there's maybe only been 20 of those in the whole history of the SCA, which I think is going on with their 10th year this year or next year. So that's a hard score to attain. Overall, it was very much worth the $850 in fuel and the 40 plus hours that Hollis and I spent in the truck. I only got stuck at one truck fuel stop where the guy in front of me pulled up and got out and I guess went in to take a shower at the truck stop. And then a guy pulled in behind me and got out. And I don't know where he went. And I said, well, Hollis, we're not going anywhere for a while. No flat tires, no breakdowns.
Better start knocking on some wood. You better quit while you're ahead right now.
Yeah, I'm not
Start talking like that.
Jason's mojo there, but overall, man, they did an amazing job. There were no bumps in the road. Everything was perfectly organized. When they said that Cook's meeting started at 4 o'clock, on the freaking dot, that thing started at 4 o'clock. When awards started at 7 o'clock, it started. And it was an awesome experience. I got to meet a lot of people that I'd only met on Facebook. We're on Team DB180, Dead Bird Barbecue. All of them were there. And Will Collier, owner of the company, and his wife, Shauna, rented out 3 bays at the local Top Golf on Friday night. And we got to go hang out with them. He had a bunch of food for everybody. And that was kind of the theme of the weekend is that, a lot of the major SCA companies, B&B Charcoal, all of the big companies were there, and they just had these huge booths set up where, everything was free. They were cooking whole hogs all day, tons of food, breakfast in the morning for everybody. It was incredible. I got to definitely work this year to make another golden ticket so that we can go back next year. Lars left some stuff with me and said, bring this to me next year at the finals at the Worlds. And I said, well, damn, I guess I'm committed to make that drive again. We did 3 Buc-ee's stops, so that was pretty cool because everybody knows me and they know that Buc-ee's is our place. So I ate a lot of Buc-ee's, and it was incredible. And that's coming too from being at the KCBS Worlds this year. If I had to measure the two of them, they were both awesome experience, but the SCA Worlds blew it out of the water. It
sounds a lot like the Royal.
It was. I imagine it was a lot like the Royal.
I think the Royal is kind of, would say, on a level what you're talking about, describing. And if you've never been to the American Royal, don't matter if you're cooking or not, go to it and just see it. That is something that is truly it's crazy in itself. And I don't know if we're going to go back this year from the perspective of winning the GC, because we don't know how many contests we can cook. But if we don't do that, there's probably a high probability we should go out just to do the open on Sunday and just enjoy it with a group of guys and have a good time.
Yep, Hollis committed us to go, and so I guess I'm making another 1,100-mile one-way trip. It's all right. We didn't miss a beat. Like, truck never missed a beat. Honestly, the hours you guys know, you've probably all done long barbecue drives, and as long as you got something good on the radio, the time just ticked by, and eventually it was like, cool, now we're in Louisiana. Oh, man, now we're in Texas. And it's like, oh, now we're 15 minutes from the venue, And we ate a ton of good barbecue out there because everybody knows that the Dallas-Fort Worth area has really good barbecue joints. So I spent a lot of money on barbecue, and I bought 2 big cases of Big Red. If you've ever been to Texas, you got to know what Big Red is, the soda that's only available down there. And we ate Whataburger for the first time. It's pretty good. And then we ate In-N-Out Burger because they got In-N-Out Burger out there now, and that was pretty good too. So we immersed ourselves in the full Texas experience.
Sound like y'all did.
Yep.
All right. So what I like, one thing I love to do is find out a craziest story relating to barbecue. And Ted, I want you to tell us, what is a crazy story that you have relating to barbecue?
I don't know that I really have a crazy one at this point. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say that it's crazy because it seems like it's pretty much the norm. I mean, you go in, everybody's a little bit of chaotic while you're getting set up. And once you get set up and you get into your cook, everything goes smooth. But I guess the craziest thing was we were in Vicksburg last year and I had a team next to me, Hickory Hangover. They hollered out that my wife was late with turn-in.
Oh, no.
And I was like, no, you're full of crap. Actually, that's not exactly what I said, but pretty close. In any case, she didn't miss turn-in, but they saw her going up there kind of like at the last minute, but she made it fine. And I'm thinking she's not coming back to the camper if she didn't make it. Not that it wouldn't have made any damn difference at that particular comp because we finished pretty crappy. But that's probably the craziest thing I've experienced. I mean, for the most part, backyard, we all get there on Friday. We get set up. We go meet and greet with everybody, party a little bit Friday night, cook seriously on Saturday morning. And then Saturday night, depending on if you can stay or you have to leave, kind of the same thing. But it's just good times. I mean, nothing crazy that I can think of off the top of my head.
Wow. One more thing here before I've just seen him get on here and post, and I want to do a shout out right now to Hoggy Bottom Boys. Got a 180 in chicken.
That's awesome.
So, Rusty, absolutely congratulations to that. You got your 180 in chicken. That's awesome. I know you like the rest of it here. We start kind of getting to a groove, start beating the head against the wall. But 180 chicken is congratulations.
If I can also point out that he has used the same smoker now for at least more than 4 contests. If you saw him in the last couple of years, every time you saw him, that he had a new big badass smoker. So I'm proud of him for dialing in on a good one.
Now I think he's actually using 2 right now.
I think I saw a picture of a barrel. Yeah, I saw a drum. So I'll put an asterisk beside my comment there.
And I'm thinking he took a class, the GBC class, for chicken. And I think that chicken recipe has been blessed for him. And awesome. Trumpet Master said it was South Padre in 1999. That's a barbecue story I really got to hear one day, Lewis.
That's a long way back.
Bill's telling you hello, congratulations on that. Congratulations, Bill, on your GC too.
Yeah, killer.
I was going to say one of the best guys I've met, hands down. Met him at Invitationals last year, and he was parked up next to me, and great guy.
Him and his wife both are absolutely amazing group of people.
Absolutely.
Love them to death. Would do anything we're for them. We met them during the Rufus Teague series. They'd come done a few contests in South Carolina and met them, and actually met them when I was doing barbecue church. So great people. So what type of steak do you use on SCA? They provide the steaks, correct?
They provide the steaks. They are all choice ribeyes, and they are cut to, I want to say, 1 inch and 1/8. So they have a jig, and they're all cut to the same thickness. Now, granted, they're not all the same steaks. You got some that are tri-hearts, and some that are big old spinalysis, and some that are just straight garbage. So you pick they usually have a poker chip with a number on it, and when you check in, you draw that, and you'll get in line, and you go up, and you've got 30 seconds to pick your steak. You can't touch any of them. They got 2 attendants there. You can point at them. They will flip them over so you can see the other side, but you got to make that choice quick. And then once everybody goes through the line, they reverse the order and reorganize what's left on the table, and you have the option of going through and getting a second steak. I've gotten to where I don't cook the second steak, but I do trim it and prepare it just like I would with the first steak that I've picked, because I heard a horror story last year of somebody cooking their beautiful steak and then dropping it on the ground and their dog snatching it up. And they obviously they either didn't have a practice steak ready or, didn't have it trimmed and brined and all of that and missed their window and didn't turn in. So even if I don't cook it, I've got a second one ready. If shit happens, a steak cook is literally only 8 minutes usually. So, you can recover quickly if your timeline is good and still make a turn in. Because if you spend that money to get there, you don't want your dog eating your perfect steak that you just dropped on the ground.
Absolutely.
Keep your dog inside, especially during cook time.
Yeah, Carrie can tell you a story about a dog with a brisket too.
Oh yeah, I bet so.
Ate a whole brisket. So Derek, tell us your funny story or stuff. You had time to think about it now.
Let's see here.
You gonna tell?
It probably had to be, the story behind the DJ burgers. We Joseph, he ground up some you're talking about hammer. And the hammer. I'm known to I'm a general contractor, so I got a hammer everywhere, and it comes in multiple uses, and it comes in a lot of uses when it comes to the drums. Sometimes lids don't shut just right, and it has persuaded many drums lids to shut right. And everybody around me, I'm always the noisy neighbor because I'm usually, it's I think it's a 23 ounce claw hammer. So it's, when you hit steel on steel, everybody's usually awake and trying to see what's going on. But
I won't buy you rubber mallet. What you need is a rubber mallet.
They don't work as good. They just don't work as good. But and then the whole DJ burger thing is Joseph ground up some points and Wagyu points, and we was throwing them natties back, and I think this was at Waynesboro last year. I was actually shadowing for KCBS at this point, but I was relieved of my duties at that point in time. Let's just say that. But so we started. Well, no, it wasn't there. Hold on. We actually started them at Sip and Swine. That was where it was, Sip and Swine, and that's I got an RTC. That was the first time that I was invited to the DJ burger experience, and I think I had like 6 that night, and then went to Waynesboro, and I think I had like 8. 8 buns, 8 pieces of cheese, 8 burgers, the whole 9 yards. Yeah. I can put away some food now, but I guess that would be my funny or
8 Wagyu burgers was, yeah.
I haven't been beat yet. I'm still waiting on somebody to step up, and nobody's stepped up yet. So,
Justin, how about you got a crazy story?
I do, and I've been scrolling through my timeline because mine involves one of the 3 Musketeers there, the crew at Savannah last year. Oh, I found it. All right, let me see if I'm able to share, and we'll all enjoy this awesome but also a little bit scary event here. So give me 1 second. All right, everybody see my screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Can you put it up? No, you can't put it up, can you? Add the stream. Can you add the stream?
Any better?
I got it.
All right, let's watch that again because it's worth it. Oh no, where'd it go?
Oh Lord.
I thought that was Joseph on the bike too.
That was in the second event.
All right.
All right.
So,
Story behind that is that Friday night they had like a 1 meat challenge rib burn, and they had brought 2 inflatable kiddie pools because Hollis was there, and some of their kids were there too. So they said, "Why don't you bring Hollis over and they can swim?" Because it was pretty damn hot down there.
Hot.
it was pretty damn hot. It was hell.
Those kids had been playing in those pools. I mean, they were so filthy. They had grass and dirt and sticks and all kinds of garbage in there, man. And so apparently Joseph said, if I win the rib burn, I'll put on my swimsuit and I'll run through one of these and belly flop into the other one. And sure as shit, he won it. And I guess they got back and they said, you ain't getting out of that one. So luckily I was there and I was able to put it on the slow-mo so that we could enjoy the full breadth of, the movement and the gracefulness moving into the incredibly dirty pool. He immediately got out and said, I got to go take a shower now. And he's probably covered in about a pound of dried savanna grass. And that was definitely probably the craziest barbecue moment. Second craziest was actually at that same contest Saturday morning, full cook, and one of the gnarliest thunderstorms that ever happened at a contest came up. And, man, it rained and rained and rained and rained. And the poor guy that was beside me that was under tents was in the low point, and that water kept rising harder and harder. And he had 3 Traegers out there plugged in. The generator kicked off because something tripped it. And the lightning was just like boom, boom, just all around. So like he had just run and hide, and all his stuff's floating. And I was like, yeah, he's going to die out there. Either them Traegers are going to electrocute everybody that's standing around if he hadn't popped the breaker yet. But we survived.
That was the contest that made me order my new trailer.
I bet so. Yeah, that was gnarly.
I was out there under a tent, and it's like you said, there's power cords running through, and I'm literally standing in at least 8 inches of water. And
we've had some. I mean, we've done Greenwood a lot of years, and if you ever done that, there's going to be a gnarly thunderstorm. Man, that one was the granddaddy of them. I mean, I ain't never heard of it. And funny enough, when we went and got a hotel that after turn-ins that night, and when we went back Sunday morning, another one came up. And I mean, the lightning was it was so close when I was hooking the trailer up that the hair was standing up on my arms and my neck when it would get close. And I'm like, man, if I die here after getting the highest brisket score I ever got in my life, damn. Maybe worth it. I don't know if that was worth it or not, but yeah, that's my story. Hopefully that was enjoyable.
Yeah, we've seen a few dumpster fires. We put hot ash in the dumpster.
Don't work. Not a good thing.
Yeah. Not a good thing. It does it too much for that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I bring out the stories about that and share some stories because I want everybody here to understand that's not in the competition barbecue that we do this for the stories. We do this for the relationships. We do this for the friendships.
Mm-hmm.
We do this for just from a camaraderie ship. I mean, we want to win contests. Don't be wrong. If we don't win contests, we'll probably be mad about it on Sunday. We'll probably wake up Monday thinking twice about it. And Tuesday, we're ready to go compete again next week. That's just the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
As insane as that may be, it's the way it works. I mean, because what happens is you do like Ted up here. You win GC contest. And then all them woes you ever had is gone and forgotten.
Yep.
Right, Ted?
Well, at least for 3 weeks. Yeah. We got the next one down in Gaston. So Up until then, we're all good.
Cool.
Until then, we're all good. That's a
And
beautiful
Jason,
contest in Gaston.
at that contest in Savannah, you and I both got real high calls. I bet you can't remember how much money you got.
No.
I don't remember that at all, but I remember that whole contest just because of the laughs and Derek putting down burgers and the lightning and just everything that went into making that a really fun weekend, and that's what the memories are.
It was a fun contest, had a good time, but I will say this, and I've been in some hot contests.
Man,
That's probably the muggiest, hottest contest I can
was,
ever recall being in.
I was like, I'm so glad I have air conditioning in this trailer.
And I had air conditioning trailer, but
it's so humid. Like I had wrote on my wall on the inside of my trailer, I wrote something, just a quote, and I usually write some, kind of quote or whatever to look up there at, and I wrote a quote, and it was so humid that it had just melted down the wall.
Oh no, damn!
I mean, it was that bad. It was.
I had just put a digital clock on the outside of the porch, so if I was out there, I could look, and it had a temperature gauge on it. And I looked up at one point and saw 103 with 98% humidity.
oh, it was
damn! Oh my god, this is gnarly, dude.
I mean, it was
It
a great contest. I love the contest, but I love the people for the cause.
I hate that it's gone. That one, and Papa Joe's or
it's not official yet, is it?
I don't know. I don't know. One person say it's official, and then somebody say it won't be, but I think it. I mean, from what I've heard, it is. But now that's just
getting on into the season now. If you ain't seeing it announced yet, not a good sign.
I know they're not doing the music again. The rest of it, I don't know for sure about. But I mean, I love the contest. It's a great contest. But I mean, it's a lot of work put on contests. I mean, you know it firsthand.
Yep.
I mean, and I wish every cook out there would go volunteer and help somebody run a contest. And when they do that, they will truly look at it from different perspectives.
There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I mean, because it's a full year's planning, especially when you build like a festival around.
Oh yeah, that's
and it seems like that's what's helping some of them survive. I believe is the festival around it in the public, and because I mean it's bad to say, but far as a money standpoint or whatever, unless you do People's Choice or something like that, I mean, we really don't bring a whole lot of value to a festival. I mean, because we're costing a lot of money. We got to have power. We got to have water. We got to have $10,000 payout. We got to have, all this. So, I mean, without People's Choice and stuff like that, I mean, that's a lot of these contests, and organizers are like, you know what? We can cut out a big expense by cutting the barbecue thing out and just have some food trucks come in or something with barbecue. Or
that's true.
Whatever. So, I mean, if we really want this thing to keep going, I feel like we need to be more helpful when it comes to, and I'm the same way. I mean, I hate doing People's Choice, but just because I'm usually by myself and it's hard to do. But when I got into the organizer's position, I was like, I see the value, and now I'm going to participate also because I know that it needs to happen.
Yeah, it can be that. So, Ted, you said you're going to Gadsden next. You got that in 3 or 4 weeks down in Gadsden, Alabama, right?
That's correct.
Beautiful contest.
Yep, love that.
I've been to that place twice now, and both times I've been there, the waterfall's been dry.
Oh no!
It wasn't last year, but it was the first time we went to it. there wasn't a trickle of water coming down. There wasn't a bit down in the creek at all. But the last couple of times, it's been coming down good like it's supposed to. But I mean, I love that competition, just the environment. The whole campground is great. Everybody gets full hookup for the most part if you need it. Full electricity, water, the whole 9 yards. And they do a good job with it as well.
Yep.
So, I mean, we enjoy it. I told my wife, I said, we're going there even if we quit competing. We're going to do that one every year, no matter what.
Yeah, same thing with Greenwood. We'll do Greenwood regardless if we're competing or not competing. We'll still do Greenwood and a few of the contests and Boss Hog. So I know you repping the Swamp Fest. Where's your next contest you're cooking at, Derek?
Lake City.
Oh,
Going to
nice.
Lake City, Florida.
How far is that? Probably not that
For
far.
me, it's like hour and 45 minutes or 2 hours.
Cool.
Something like that. It's not very far, and that's actually my first one of the year. The last contest I've done was a hog drop in Unadilla.
Wow.
I haven't done anything. I kind of got into doing some food truck stuff and some vending stuff too. So, just playing around with all the different things of barbecue. But then we just got approved for at Smoke Timber Fest in Baxley. We got approved, and we are actually putting in more power. So we will have, I think that will be 64 50 amp hookups now. We'll have.
Wow.
Killer.
We are.
You got a spot for me?
Yep, I got a spot for you. You already paid. It's a year in advance.
Yeah, really. Way in advance for that one. Yeah.
Good year.
Now, Justin, you doing a charity type event next?
Yes. So this coming weekend in the hometown where my brother and I grew up, the very first contest that we ever did at a little church where a couple dudes from high school that I went to, they are the pastors there, and they're barbecue guys. And so they put on an independent contest where we do a people's choice type thing. They do steak, wings, and they always throw in a mystery meat. Last year it was liver mush, and I ain't never seen so many country boys be like, "Oh, you never cooked no liver mush," and I was like, I live in the middle of Charlotte, one of the biggest cities in the U.S., and I know how to cook liver mush. What's wrong with y'all? So we put that on our schedule every single year. I block off that weekend, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of small. Actually, it's grown to the point now to where they have to have two divisions. So, like Josh Lambert's there, Alan Rainwater, a couple of us guys that compete pretty regularly in the KCBS, and then they got guys, that's probably the only contest they do a year. They come out there with their burn barrels and, stoking their offset all night with coals. So they've divided it into backyard teams and pro teams this year. But it's a lot of fun. It's only about maybe 45-minute drive from here. Easygoing contest. We've stacked up some trophies of that one over the years. So I always make a plan to go. And a lot of y'all know I don't get to compete with my brother that much anymore now that he's single dad with 3 kids. So, it's tough for him to be traveling like Hollis and I do on the weekends. And that one he definitely always comes out to and spends the night and cooks with me. So for me, that's probably the most important thing is that, I get to cook with my brother who I started Holt Brothers Barbecue with. And hopefully we'll add a couple more trophies to they come out with they're like laser cut pigs, that made out of steel for the pork, a big chicken and they powder coat them. And we've got those all on the wall inside the trailer now. So Hollis said, "Daddy, if we get another one, you ain't got no more room." And I said, "Oh, we got some more walls in here. We'll stack them up on there." No money involved. They provide all the meat. It's a fun weekend. Used to, it was our first contest of the season. They did it earlier in March, and the weather was always just so gnarly. Like the first year we did it, I was under pop-ups, brand new pop-ups, by the way. Never cooked a contest before. And up came a windstorm that night, and it was like 35, 40-mile-an-hour winds. I think it got down to 28, and we turned in dead-ass cold pork. Came in. I don't think we actually came in last, but we were pretty close to last, and tore our tents to pieces. The wind did, and my brother was like, "Man, that was not fun. Like, I thought that was going to be fun. That was not fun." And I said, "Just let me get a trailer. We'll step it up." So that was 5 years ago now. Little did we know how much money that contest was going to cost me over the years.
Yeah, it's definitely a.
Wouldn't do it any other way, there, man. Not any other way.
No, we've met some amazing people. Met people and friendships I would take anything for.
Me too.
I mean, you're looking at 3 people right here I would not have met through barbecue.
Yep.
I mean, and totally gets that. Shares your comp video today. Gets my better judgment. So
out, I was like, "Dang, Jason."
Do what now?
I seen you post that, and I was like, "Uh-oh, he's giving away his secrets now."
Well, I mean, yeah, man.
That's all right. I don't have any secrets. I'm the kind of guy, I'll tell you literally everything about my cook. You can come watch me. Like, if that makes you a better cook, that makes me happy.
Thank you, Kent. Appreciate that. One other thing I want to kind of hear before I'll talk about videos, man. I want everybody to know GBC just posted a photo contest today for pork chops. If you go up there, you go to GBC website, you'll see information on there. You take a picture of pork chop, you can fry it. I mean, there's grilling it or smoking it, barbecuing it. Post a picture on that and do the hashtags on there. The winner's going to get some Yes Dearest barbecue sauce. So you do all that. And you can enter more than one time, but you can only win one prize. So if you want to do a grilled pork chop and a barbecue pork chop, go for it. Make sure you hashtag that. That's going to run, I think, through the 22nd. I forgot the date, but it's right there in April sometime. So make sure you check that out, because that's going to be a little contest going on, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you do that.
Cool.
Yeah, you still got to cook it. That's absolutely right, Kent. And that's and that's 100% correct with that. So we just posted a video here. The last 2 videos I posted has been competition ribs and competition pork. And I shared what I'm using, kind of some version of what I'm using for competition. That's why I was doing practice on it. So check those videos out. It's got some really good information in there as far as telling you what to look for and what we're going for competition. And I believe personally it's pretty decent videos. And I mean, so I go out there and look at it and share it. So I appreciate everybody doing that on there. If y'all don't mind, these shows we got here, like, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family. And share it with people you know, because we're trying to grow these on Facebook and YouTube. So I would appreciate you doing that. Can you post a link for that? I'll post on the Facebook page, Elite Barbecue Smokers. It's on there, and it's also on our YouTube page. I don't know if I have a chance to post on here. We're getting ready to call this a night when everybody's going to sleep on us up there. I think Ted's falling asleep on me up there.
No, I'm not falling asleep at all.
You used to them Navy watch nights, huh? But
there you go.
Listen, we appreciate y'all watching our shows. We truly do. And if y'all want to come on show, you know somebody interested in being on show, let us know. We're always looking for new people to come on there. But if you have any passion about barbecue, you want to share it, just go out and start cooking. Watch what we got online, come out to competition, or volunteer, or just come hang out. I promise you, we want you to be part of this as much as we do, because it's a passion we want to share it with everybody.
Yep. Sure
anybody got a last minute shout outs to sponsors?
Dead Bird Barbecue, DB180, of course. Also on Team Steak Princess Barbecue this year again, 2nd year. And Herb's Honey, local Charlotte grown honey company.
Yep. How about you, Derek?
I am Team Heath Riles this year, and
Sweet.
I'm on Hound Hogs.
Awesome. Man, I'll tell you a funny Hound Hog story. So I don't know if you hear the legend after turn-ins at a contest when things are getting a little, loose. One of them's got a drone, and he's a really good drone pilot. They will get single charcoal briquettes and like tape it with a sticker, and he's got a drone that he can like dangle something and then take it somewhere and drop it. We happened to get back to our trailer, and I was like, "Hollis, look, there's in Fort Worth," and I said, "There's a drone right here," and it's just sitting outside the trailer, just like looking at us. And Hollis is like, "There's something hanging from it." And then it came a little bit closer and it dropped it right in front of us. And I went over there and got it, and it was a charcoal briquette. And so I gave it a thumbs up, and he did the to acknowledge me, and then just took off nowhere. Hollis was like, "Why did they give us one piece of charcoal?" And I said, "It's a good luck charm, man. I got it. I'm going to keep it. It's my good luck charm." Those guys are crazy, though.
That's pretty cool.
Hilarious guys.
Ted, about you? Any sponsors you want to?
Yeah, Hound Hogs Barbecue Supply, same as Derek mentioned. That's all we've got right now.
Looking, I don't think I have it down here, but so if you ever get the look of charcoal briquette, keep it. I tie a string around it, or on my neck to the finals awards.
Anybody out there that does want to be in Swamp Fest, we got 4 spots, and if you don't have anything to do next weekend, you will regret not being there. So I would highly suggest signing up, and it's going to be a contest that everybody's talking about. It's going to be a contest that will be a mainstay in Georgia barbecue and in KCBS.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Shout out my sponsors: Royal Oak, Atlanta Barbecue Store, Heath Riles, Recteq, and that's who we got. Thank y'all for watching. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back next week with another show. Check out the videos we posted this weekend on YouTube, and make sure you follow all of us on social media. All the information in the description is below. Thank you. See you next time.